Coming up on the April 8th edition of Sports Extra, we say goodbye to some of the most iconic hair to tower above the Carolina blue.
Coming into the weekend, the Diamond Heels didn't know if they would get stingers or dingers.
And the Virginia Cavaliers might be winning in basketball, but softball is a different story.
All that and so much more. Sports Extra starts
right now.
From the University of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Welcome to the April 8th edition of Sports Extra. I'm Elena Pirtle.
And I'm Jilly Kuhn. We begin with an update about charges that have rocked the women's basketball program and longtime head coach Sylvia Hatchell. Hatchell and her entire staff are on paid administrative leave. An outside firm is investigating allegations that Hatchell made a series of racially charged remarks and forced players to play through serious injuries. According to the Washington Post, Hatchell told players they would be hanged from trees with nooses if their on-court performance didn't improve. UNC released a statement announcing that the university will have no further comment about the situation until the investigation is complete. Hatchell's attorney spoke with the Washington Post and said the lynching quote is incorrect. The controversy comes as a major shock to a program in which Hatchell has historically coupled on-court success with a family atmosphere. Hatchell has served as UNC's head coach for 33 years. She has more than 1,000 career wins and guided her team into the national championship in 1994. A Naismith Hall of Famer, Hatchell has prided herself for being more than a coach to her players. In a statement, Hatchell said, "I love each and every one of the players I've coached and would do anything to encourage and support them. They are like family to me." 3 players have already transferred from a team that reached UNC's first NCAA tournament appearance since 2015. We have reached out to the women's basketball program, but officials have declined an interview with anyone involved in the investigation at this time.
Since the news of the investigation broke, 3 Tar Heels have announced plans to transfer. Both redshirt juniors Stephanie Watts and Destiny Walker, as well as redshirt sophomore Jocelyn Jones, have decided to move on to different schools. Watts averaged 15.2 points and 5.5 rebounds per game last season. Watts is looking at schools in Georgia. Walker sat out this past season with an injury and will be transferring to Georgia Tech to attend grad school. Playing every game this season, Jones averaged 3.7 points and 3.1 rebounds per game. Jones hasn't stated a preference for where she might wind up next. This isn't the first crop of players to leave the women's program. In 2015, All-ACC forwards Stephanie Mavunga, Alicia Gray, and Jessica Washington all left the program amidst another investigation due to fraudulent classes at the university.
The men's basketball team is facing a major rebuilding job. Seniors Luke May, Kenny Williams, and Cam Johnson are graduating, and 2 other Carolina stars are heading to the NBA. Freshman phenom Kobe White is projected as a top 5 pick, according to NBADraft.net. Late in ACC play, White surpassed the GOAT, aka Michael Jordan, on UNC's all-time freshman scoring list. In this Boston College matchup, White got to 462 points, topping Jordan's previous mark of 460. The 6'5" point guard averaged 16.1 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 4.1 assists per game for the Heels. White was Carolina's Defensive Player of the Game 7 times this season. He also set the record for most 30-plus point games by a freshman in UNC history with 3. Nasir Little, the other half of Roy's first pair of one-and-dones, came to Carolina as one of the top recruits in the country. A super athletic small forward with an uncanny ability to get airborne, Little averaged 9.8 points per game while playing about 18 minutes per game. The freshman battled through injuries and illness all season long, but when he was healthy, he was a key part of Carolina's offense. Little will likely be a lottery pick in June, although he's projected to be picked lower than teammate Kobe White.
Roy isn't known for one-and-done freshmen, he's known for developing great seniors, and Luke May will go down as one of the best. May is this year's winner of the Senior Class Award. The award recognizes the most outstanding senior student athlete in the nation in Division I men's basketball. May is the second UNC player to receive the honor, the other Tyler Hansbrough in 2009. May earned All-ACC academic team honors 4 times and is this year's top men's basketball scholar athlete in the ACC. All right, Jilly, of course the Tar Heels are watching the national championship from home tonight, but who do you have winning the game?
Probably Texas Tech, just because I don't want to see Virginia win, but If I'm being honest, I'm not necessarily interested in the game at all. What about you?
I'm also not too invested, but I'm going to go with Virginia just because go ACC.
That's fair. Well, moving on to football, there's a new attitude and a new vibe surrounding Carolina football. Alasne Egwes shows us why Heels football fans are excited to see everything that will be on display at the 2019 spring game.
Mac is back, and the team is hard at work. The Heels are picking up the new defensive and offensive schemes, but there's still lots of room for improvements.
Still too many penalties, still not forcing enough turnovers with our defense. Offense, we've taken care of the ball pretty well. Kicking game's been inconsistent. We missed too many field goals the last two scrimmages, and we also have been inconsistent with our puntings.
The coaches have been looking for leaders in each position, and some players have stepped up.
I'm also very impressed with Antonio Williams. He works so hard and he's so competitive, and if we get everybody on our team to work as hard as Antonio Williams and Tamon Fox, we'll be in good shape.
Coach Mack expects nothing but the best and is using social media to connect with prospects. The 2020 recruiting class is ranked 9th in the nation. Four-star cornerback Cameron Kelly will be transferring from Auburn to UNC. The team also has 6 early enrollees. With Manny Mouse graduating, Nathan Elliott leaving, and Chas Rapp switching to linebacker, the quarterback position is up for grabs. Kate Forden, Jace Reuter, and Sam Howell are working hard to learn the offense.
Just we're proud of all three of you. You're all three great. You're all three the same age, which is very difficult. We're going to figure out who's going to give us the best chance to win. That's who's going to play.
Fans will have the opportunity to witness this new era of Tar Heel football this Saturday here at Kenan Stadium.
With a day full of football, family, and fun, Coach Mack hopes this becomes a new tradition.
Big crowd at the spring game, simply to send the message to recruits and to our players that it's going to be really important to play well in the fall. And I want our fans to get excited about coming back out for football. We need Kenan Stadium full.
With new coaches, new recruits, and new facilities comes new attitudes. In Chapel Hill, Alasne was reporting.
The spring game is Saturday at 5 in Kenan Stadium, rain or shine.
Is Luke May trying to change sports? Normally this competition is for kids, but it turns out college students can also join in on the fun. May and many others competed in the annual punt, kick, and pass event hosted by the Campus Recreation and UNC Athletics Department. The goal is for everyone to have fun and keep active. Each student had 3 chances to punt, pass, or kick his or her way to stardom. Once the student has the opportunity to show off their skills, the officials record their scores, and the winner and runner-up will have the chance to be featured at the football spring game. Other students like Julia Knapp just competed to have fun.
Even if you haven't kicked before or like thrown a football or anything like that, it's still really fun to come out and try something new.
The winner of that competition was Sports Xtra Director Cam Newworth. You've proven you're not a scrub. Way to go, Cam.
Well, let's get back to the real athletes. One thing that sets them apart from Cam and other wannabes, hours and hours in the weight room. Devontae Anthony introduces us to Carolina's new strength and conditioning coach.
Strength, conditioning, all combined to meet their new head coach, Brian Hess. From the Army to UNC, Coach Hess knows what it takes to keep these players going. And with the new leadership in the coaching staff, he says the success for this year's team is likely because
we got an opportunity. We got incredible athletes. We got great coaches. I think we got an opportunity to achieve, a lot of success, and we're set up to do it.
Hess spends most of his time in the weight room, making sure the guys are fit, healthy, and strong for game day. But that's not the most important thing to him.
For me, the most important thing is that I want to be able to put a program together that gives the athletes the greatest opportunity to develop, and that's exactly what we have.
The players are afforded an amazing workout facility with a fueling station for the players to grab their protein before training. After training, the players exit back to the fueling station where they get the supplements they need for a quick recovery and the snacks they need to get them through the day. Since Coach Hess has been here, he's noticed
they're extremely motivated. They want to get to the next level. They want to take the team to the next level. And as long as you explain why we're doing it, how it's going to help them, they're all in.
This year, the team is looking for and expecting the best. We shall see how things go Saturday at the spring game. In Chapel Hill, I'm Devontae Anthony, reporting.
Hess's personal record on the bench press, 500 pounds, about quadruple what our director Cam can do. Well, would you rather have the superpower of strength or speed?
This weekend, UNC's track stars had both as they put up their best effort against the lesser blue.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
The most recent edition of the Battle of Tobacco Road didn't take place on the court or the field, but instead took place on the track. Starting with the field events, sophomore Jill Shippey broke into the NCAA Top 5 for women's hammer throw. Shippey finished first in her event, slinging the hammer 67.09 meters. The next star for the heels was sophomore long jumper Anna Kiefer. She sticks the landing for first place with a jump of 6.10 meters. Kiefer showed out again in the 100-meter dash, winning the race by a full second with a PR of 11.62. Kiefer completed her day in the 200-meter dash and qualified for the NCAA Outdoor Championships with a time of 23.92 seconds. Duke won the meet 79-75.
The men's tennis team took on both Boston College and Notre Dame this weekend. In doubles heels with the serve, the return by the Eagles, who couldn't respond against this quick smash. Heels take on the doubles point. On to singles, we have junior Ladd Harrison, who ends his match with an ace. What a fast game. Junior Josh Peck was involved in a competitive game until, well, the Eagles couldn't make the return. UNC won against Boston College 6-1. Sunday was senior day, and the team's lone senior, Blaine Boyden, was honored before the start of singles play. On court 1, Carolina's Benjamin Seguin was focused as he keeps his eye on the ball to defeat his opponent in 2 sets. On court 2, Brian Kernock was in complete control as he spikes the ball to defeat Notre Dame's Guillermo Cabrera. On court 3, Josh Peck went back and forth but ultimately used his powerful swing to get the point and take down his opponent as the Tar Heels earned the victory with a 5-0 shutout.
On the women's side, UNC took on Florida State and Wake Forest in a pair of conference matchups. The women's tennis team opened up with a doubles pairing of Jessie Aney and Alexa Graham. Graham immediately returns the ball down the line. The Seminoles had no chance. Again, Graham on the serve here. Knowles volley, but Graham hits a beautiful shot to the corner. UNC wins in doubles. In singles, Graham's match was back and forth until Graham saw her chance and took it. The Heels win in a 4-0 sweep of Florida State. The second-ranked Tar Heels took on the 22nd-ranked Demon Deacons Sunday. UNC seniors Jessie Aney and Chloe Owlett-Pizer were recognized before the match. Doubles team Jessie Aney and Alexa Graham led the way for the Heels on court 1, and Carolina cruises to the doubles point. In singles, UNC's 6th-ranked Graham won handily on court 2, 6-1 and 7-5. And 7th-ranked McKenna Jones keeps the momentum and serves up a W on court 1 against 33rd-ranked Emma Davis 7-6 and 6-2. The Tar Heels swept the Demon Deacons 7-0 and lead the ACC with a 12-0 record. The Heels have road matches at Georgia Tech on Friday and at Virginia Tech next Sunday.
But it's all about the seniors and recognizing them, and understanding how important they've been. Both seniors have won over 100 matches in their career, so they've meant so much to this program.
Moving on to baseball, the Diamond Heels travel to Atlanta to face the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets with first place in the division on the line. In Game 1, the Heels would be first to strike with this single by Aaron Sabato to bring in 1 run. This game was all Heels. In the top of the second, Jackson Hesterly crushes a 2-run bomb to right field to put the Heels up 3-0. Just 1 inning later, Brandon Martirano smacks the double to make it 6-0 Heels. In the top of the 6th, Dylan Harris hammers the ball out to make it 7-2. In the same inning, Sabato crushes the first pitch he gets to make it 9-2 Heels. The Heels would take the 11-4 victory and a one-game lead in the Coastal Division. In Game 2, Georgia Tech was the one with the hot bats, taking an early 3-0 lead. But Danny Soretti would get things started for the Heels with a double to make it 3-1. GT would continue to put up runs, including this double by Colin Hall to make it 9-2. But Soretti was having a day. He hits another double to cut the lead to 3. The Heels would eventually tie the game at 10 off yet another Soretti double, but it wouldn't be enough as they fall to Georgia Tech 11-10 on a sac fly in the bottom of the 9th. Game 3 would start off with a bang as Michael Bush slams a 3-run homer in the top of the 3rd, but GT would match it with its own 3-run homer by Tristan English. The Heels would answer that with an Aaron Sabato solo homer in the following inning to make it 4-3. It would be all GT from there on as the Yellow Jackets scored 7 unanswered runs, including another 3-run bomb, this time by Kyle McCann. The Heels would end up falling 10-5 to drop the series, now sitting at 1 game back in the Coastal Division. Junior Dylan Harris has been very reliable at the plate this season. He started off the Georgia Tech series with his 5th home run of the year. He's batting .287 and has reached base in 22 straight games, the longest streak on the team. More Heels will need to play as well as Harris if they are to take back the lead in the Coastal Division.
Let's just say that Virginia's softball team didn't do nearly as well this weekend as its men's basketball team is doing. The Hoos took on the Heels in a 3-game series at Anderson Stadium. After having the series opener on Friday postponed, UNC came out hungry as junior Campbell Hutcherson gave the Heels a 2-run lead in the 2nd. Hutcherson's double set the tone of the game, and Megan Dre crushed a solo shot in the 4th to increase UNC's lead to 4. Carolina pitcher Brittany Pickett had Virginia under a spell as she threw 6 strikeouts in a shutout performance. The game ended in the 5th on the run rule after Kiana Ramsey notched a 2-run double to give the Heels an 8-0 win. Game 2 of the series on Sunday started off nearly the same as Game 1. The Heels got on the board early when junior Brittany Pickett knocked an RBI double down the right field line. That turned out to be only an appetizer for UNC as an RBI single by Berlin De La Mora would open up a massive 4th inning for the Heels. With the bases loaded, pinch hitter Lexi Godwin crushed a grand slam to put the game out of reach for the Hoos. Call it deja vu as the Heels run rule Virginia to win 8-0. With the series already clinched, UNC showed no sign of slowing down in Game 3 as the Heels rolled out 4 hits in the 1st inning. The defense looked impressive all day for the Heels, helping starting pitcher Hannah George hold Virginia to only 1 hit. A player too good for one position, UNC pitcher and designated hitter Brittany Pickett launched a solo shot to give UNC a 5-run lead. Carolina added 2 runs in the 5th inning as Leah Murray hit an RBI single to give the Heels yet another 8-0 win. No game in this series got past the 5th inning. The Heels now have 6-run rule wins for the year.
Kaja Hislop and Michaela Robinson both had solid performances at the 2019 NCAA Women's Gymnastics Regional in Athens, Georgia this weekend. Hislop competed on vault, beam, and floor, scoring 9.875 in both floor and vault. Robinson competed on vault and scored 9.875, which was one of her best routines this season. Despite the great performances, neither Tar Heel qualified for the national championships.
On Saturday, the UNC men's lacrosse team went down to the wire against the 4th-ranked Virginia Cavaliers in Charlottesville. The Tar Heels started the game strong. Alex Trippi tallied UNC's first goal with this unassisted turnaround shot. Freshman Nikki Solomon completed his first career hat trick off this beautiful feed by Jacob Kelly in the 2nd period. Carolina extended the lead as Justin Anderson fired this absolute rocket to the back of the Cavaliers' net. The Cavs tied the game in the 4th period, and then Virginia's Dox Aitken scored the game winner with a minute 34 to play. The 7-4 Tar Heels will be back in action Saturday in Chapel Hill to take on the Syracuse Orange.
The Tar Heel women's lacrosse team went to Louisville on Saturday, and the Cardinals weren't ready for what sophomore Jamie Ortega had in store for them. Ortega was a bona fide star on Saturday as Louisville had no answer for her ability to find the back of the net. Here, Gianna Bowe weaves through the defense and scores. Ortega would go on to score 6 goals in the game. Ali Mastriani earns a hat trick of her own off a great pass from Ortega and puts the Heels up 13-1 going into the break. Louisville would never even sniff a comeback, and the goals for Carolina kept rolling in. UNC wins easily against the U of L's 17-6, improving to 10-3 on the season. UNC will return home on Saturday against Syracuse at noon. The men's game is right after that one. Training is something every athlete has to do. One of the most common workouts, jump rope.
Stick up with us to learn more about students who take jump rope to the max.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
The song Jump Around played at the beginning of many UNC sporting events. As Deja Parker shows us, one group of Carolina students takes the message of that song to new heights.
Noah Mancuso and Graham Booth both started Carolina Jump Rope only 2 years ago. With their first video gaining huge exposure on campus, they knew that Carolina Jump Rope belonged at Carolina. This team has already competed nationally and internationally. Many of us think of jump roping as something we do on the playground during recess, but the members of Carolina Jump Rope would beg to differ. It is so much more. Carolina Jump Rope has found a home in Fetzer Gym, where they practice twice a week for 4 hours to perfect their routines. Some members go as far as having separate practices late at night. They are very strategic about how they come up with their amazing routines.
For competition, since it's kind of scored based on difficulty and on presentation, we try to make the most difficult combinations of tricks while also having some sort of coordination with the music when we perform.
Jumping rope is way more than a schoolyard pastime for these students. Mancuso, Booth, and others definitely consider themselves to be athletes.
Yeah, I would definitely consider myself an athlete. I think throughout my years I've definitely gone through a lot of heavy training for big competitions and really pushed myself and become in a lot better shape than I really could have expected.
And the club is in pretty good shape too. A passion for a sport you love can turn into leaving your own legacy behind. In Chapel Hill, I'm Deja Parker reporting.
All right, Elena, I got a joke about a jump rope for you. Do you want to hear it?
Let's hear it.
Never mind. I'll skip it. Skip it.
All right, well, we have a swing and a miss up here. Jillian, make sure you work on your jokes for next week. That's going to do it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We'll see you next time.